everybody, Ed Victor here, and you are watching The Voice of Victor, and I'd like to thank you for that. We're already up to episode number 5, and before I introduce our special guest today, I need to address some things like viewer email. Right here, viewer email. Totally legit, man. I'm glad people are responding and writing me. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's get right to it. This is from Curious in Denver. Hello, Curious. Hi, I'd love the new show and all the great content. Thank you very much. Didn't you used to have another show a long time ago? Curious in Denver. Matter of fact, I did. There was another show that I created long ago, 10 years ago, I think, if not longer, before people had shows. It was called Straight Shootin' with the Big Gun.
Welcome to this week's webisode of Straight Shootin' with Ed Victor, the Big Gun in voiceovers.
And that lasted for about 23 episodes, which was very cool, but it was time to move on. So yes, I don't know if any of those shows are still on YouTube, but who cares? We got a new show going now. So thanks for your comment. Hey Ed, great content. Like to hear that. Really enjoy your guests. Didn't you live in LA, and why don't you live there now? Bill G in LA. Yes, Bill G in LA. I did live in LA for a time. I moved there for my career. And matter of fact, I moved about a block away from my talent agency. And I don't live there now simply because it was too expensive, too much traffic. And frankly, when the talent agency is telling you to stay in your apartment and record from there, what's the point of being in LA? So don't live there anymore. I'm back in West Palm Beach with my family. I'm happy here. I had my fill of LA, but obviously you haven't. Just kidding. All right, next, just want to let you know your show on voice coach Joyce Castellanos. Yeah, matter of fact, that was episode 3, I believe, was so good. I contacted her and am now taking classes with her. Keep up the great work. Love the Voice of Victor. Melanie in Seattle. I'm so glad that you hooked up with Joyce. That's what this show is all about. So obviously people are watching. And last here, Ed, I hear you talking about Orlex in every show. I thought I saw you on their website. Tell me more. Janine, Miami, Florida. Yeah, actually I am on their website. I'm what they call a Orlex artist. I've been using Orlex products for a really long time, and they've been really terrific. And obviously they're sponsoring the show, but I'm not just an Orlex product endorser. I'm actually a real Orlex endorser. I'm actually on their package. This is for a product that they create called the Moped XL speaker isolation platforms, which I have in my studio. And basically, this product here, you put your studio monitors on these pads, these isolation pads, and they stop all the vibration and stuff. So, yeah, man, Orlex, love those guys, and I couldn't have a show without them because they are my sponsor. Let's move on to episode number 5, and I'm really excited to introduce my special guest this time. You've heard her on a bunch of stuff. You've seen her on all kinds of TV shows on NBC, CBS, Fox. And I don't want to give away too much. I'll let her explain what she's been doing. She's an old friend of mine from Los Angeles, and we've stayed in touch. And I'm so honored that she's agreed to do my show. So without further ado, let's talk with Sumalee Montano. Okay, and we're here right now, and we are talking with my old friend Sumalee Montano. Sumalee, thank you for joining us today. I'm so happy that you're here on the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
How's everything in Los Angeles doing? Okay?
Oh, going through this pandemic, and
the family's good. Everybody's
yeah,
healthy. I hope.
yeah, everyone's healthy. I did actually lose a couple people, extended family already, but it's it's a jumble of emotions right now, and
Yeah. You're recording at home a lot now, I'm assuming.
yes, I'm so fortunate to be able to record from home. I wasn't set up to do that before everything started, but I quickly got up to speed. I did my auditions from home, and so
Beautiful.
yeah,
Okay.
I was like somewhat, I'm not wasn't completely like rah, totally new, but I wasn't set up to do live sessions from home, which is a whole nother jump in terms of,
Right.
uh, I think, equipment and sound treatment.
Right.
And I'm actually still using, that
Mudguard?
Orlex mud guard you gave me. You gave that to me, I think, like
How many
7
years
years
ago?
ago. I want to say like 7 years ago. And I used it so faithfully for all my auditions. And then when it was time for like, well, your clients are wondering if you can record from home. And that piece is it's always my thing of like, oh, thank God I have that.
I love hearing that. Mine's right there. I travel with it. I throw it in a suitcase.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to be glad to hear that you're using it. I'm so glad you're using it.
Oh my
That's
gosh, it's one of the
awesome.
nicest things. That's one of the things I love about the voiceover business. I feel like, in general, for the most part, everyone is so nice, and you were so sweet to say like, well, here you can try this, and it's
Oh,
working.
I'm glad. Well, I'm glad you're using it. That's fantastic.
That's the reason why I'm doing your podcast right now. Because you gave me the Orlex. Like,
All right, well, let's get into some of the questions I've got here. First and foremost, give a brief background on yourself, because you have a really interesting background.
oh, thank you. I, I never know how to answer this question. Let's see. I grew up in the Midwest, Ohio. Oh, I see your dog.
Oh, yeah, there's Gracie.
Hi, Gracie. How old is Gracie?
Gracie's 3.
Oh.
Gracie. Oh, anyway,
Um,
she's the studio dog.
it's great. Oh my gosh, look at her tail.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
I never know how to answer this question. Let's see. I grew up in the Midwest, daughter of immigrants.
Right?
I was really fortunate. They were able to send me to Harvard, and
Yeah, that's incredible.
magically I graduated. Acting was always my passion throughout all of this. Like, it was my main extracurricular in high school and in college. I just didn't know that I could do it as a
Right.
career. Like, I feel like I was that, like, I'm so stereotypical, like Asian American. My parents were like, you can be a doctor, you can be
Right.
an attorney, you can be a business person or an engineer. And of those choices, I was like, well, I was going to be an attorney. And then I was like, no, maybe that's not the best thing. And then anyway, I decided to become a business person because that's the opportunity that presented itself. And I became an investment banker. And
Which
then
is
from
just- okay, that's just bizarre. Well, I mean, it's great.
bizarre.
but-
No, what's so funny is that my high school acting director, I think everyone was so everyone who knew me thought, oh, of course she's going to go into acting. And so when she found out that I was working for Morgan Stanley,
Real.
she literally said to one of my I heard this through one of my friends. She said, "Is that a new theater company in New York that I don't know of?" It was, so she thought it was, it is bizarre in that sense because it's not something I would have expected, but it's something I'm so glad. It's something I'm so glad I did. It taught me so much about business, and I think that's helped me in the entertainment business. I actually took a year off before I moved to California. I traveled around the world. I threw a backpack on, and I was just like, let's see the world, because it's something I'd always wanted to do.
So cool.
And like, yeah, I spent a year traveling around the world, and then I landed in San Francisco, which is where I started.
LA. Okay.
No, not LA, which is where I started my acting work, or my acting career in San Francisco. I started doing voiceover there, and then things just kind of grew from that.
Escalated.
Yeah, and then I think I started working in Los Angeles in around 2002, but I was actually kind of playing both markets, San Francisco and Los Angeles, and then I eventually moved to LA full time.
All right, so let's move on to people are going to recognize. Now, you've been doing a whole lot of TV shows. I know I've been seeing you on all the shows like Grey's Anatomy and the Us. What is it? This Is Us. But as far as voice work goes, because this is a voiceover show, what are some of the characters? Now, you do a lot of animation in video games. People are going to recognize you from...
I think, well, you said video games last. Star Wars Fallen Jedi is
Okay.
out now, and I play a character named Mari Kosan. So people might know me from that. Let's see, what else is out? Uh, Animation wise, I'm in the Casa Grandes,
Right.
which airs on Nickelodeon, which is the
What now?
spinoff of
What
the Loud
character?
House. Say again.
I said what character, but you were in the Loud House prior to that.
Yeah, so the Loud House, the main character of the Loud House is a little boy named Lincoln, and Lincoln's best friend is a girl named Ronnie Ann, and I play Ronnie Ann's mom. And so Ronnie Ann and her whole family got its own spinoff,
Very
and we've just it's an amazing show. It's so close to my heart. The cast has become such dear family to me. And yeah, we just love it. My son watches it. We love it. What else?
Is that on Nickelodeon?
Yes, it's on
Okay, so
Nickelodeon.
I see you're holding a Nickelodeon cup. Beautiful.
But yes, it worked out. But this is truly like you know, when you work for studios, they send you some stuff, and like I love all this stuff I get, and so this is actually my favorite mug. So, yes. Oh, I wanted to mention Star Wars Resistance.
Okay.
It's I believe it's on Disney Plus right now. It was on Disney XD before, but I play Agent Tierney, so I play one of the bad guys, and that's been an amazing experience. The cast again is so lovely and like family.
That's so
And
good.
what else? One more. I know there's one other playing. Oh, two more. One is Cleopatra in Space, which is streaming now on NBCU's Peacock,
Yeah, the Peacock channel.
streaming service.
Okay.
And oh, wait, it escaped me. Wait. It's Dream. Oh my God, you have to erase this.
No, this will make the blooper reel. It's fine.
DreamWorks Kung Fu Panda,
Kung Fu
Paws of
Panda.
Destiny. Yeah, it's Paws of Destiny, and it's on Amazon Prime. And I play like the lead bad guy for season 2. So I love that. I mean, the whole Kung Fu Panda universe, but the series is fantastic. The kids in it are terrific, and everyone on that show was phenomenal to work with.
And so when you're recording, a typical session would be an ensemble cast or individually?
It goes both ways. Sometimes you're recording with just one or two other people who are in that episode, but a lot of times it's everyone. Unfortunately, now it can't be that way.
I was going to say you can't do it now. You're recording from home.
Yeah. It's sad because there's so much. That's the thing I love about animation sessions. They're so fun, and everybody's just vibing off of each other's energy and laughing and joking, and it's therapy. It's the best.
And when you're done in your home and it comes on, do you guys all watch it as a family?
I mean, I think I'm very fortunate that sometimes I'm so busy. I'm like, tell my son, like, hey, my show's on. Can you watch this? And like he's been great. And then he'll be like, Mama, you're on the TV.
How old is he now?
He's 7. This is for the cartoons. Like we'll watch the on-camera stuff. My husband and I will watch that. But like I'm recurring on Star Trek Picard now, and I didn't get a chance to watch it until I couldn't watch the whole thing from to the end until recently. So it was just I was busy, but I was I was like, everybody tune in.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Next question. I'm moving things along here for you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
No, it's good. All right, and we talked about this before the call. Do you think if you lived somewhere else other than LA, you'd have this much success? And I'm just asking that for people who are working remotely from home. But you're doing a lot of on-camera acting out there as well.
So for that, I think the answer really depends on what part of the business you're in.
Sure.
Because I think commercially, I feel like
Anywhere.
you can do that from anywhere. Promo-wise, I feel like you can do that from anywhere. But since most of my voiceover work is animation and video games, I feel like being in Los Angeles definitely has helped.
And do you feel that as a female voice actress, actor, harder, easier, same? I mean, as far as equality goes, as far as getting the work, what's your opinion?
I think it's challenging for anyone in this business. It's not an easy business.
Right.
You know, we were talking about that earlier. It's, but I do think that it is harder for women because there just aren't as many opportunities.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. Things are changing, but I think there just aren't, there are still more castings available for men than women.
Right. Yeah. I remember going to castings. I don't go to castings anymore.
You get to work out of your home like fully.
Yeah.
That's just great.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, literally, I think the last casting I went to was in Miami, which is about an hour and a half south of me. And I was auditioning for some on-camera work, believe it or not, for a Coke commercial.
Oh, wow.
And so I drive down there and I go with 300 other guys. It was a Friday. I go to the casting. My agent calls and says, "Oh, they like you. You got a call back. You have to go back tomorrow." So I have to drive all the way back. It's almost like living in LA again, but drive all the way back. Now there's 100 guys. And the whole...
For the callback?
Yeah. The whole callback, the whole action was drink a Coke like it was the greatest thing you've ever had in your life. That was the direction on the first day. Next day was, you had to even go beyond that. Anyway, needless to say, I didn't get the gig. But I think that's the last thing I was cast on, went to a casting, and then about a week later, I got cast as Simon Cowell's double.
Oh my gosh.
For a Verizon commercial.
Oh, wow.
For 2 days, because him and I apparently are the same size.
But like I said, we're talking about working from home. Yeah, I work in my office every day for whatever, 8 hours a day or whatever, because there's jobs coming in. But I don't get to interact with people, so this is why I'm doing the show. So I get to talk with all my old friends. Anyway, in your opinion, what is the future of the voice industry? What do you think? It's going to get worse, better, stay the same? I know we're in a weird time right now.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say, but at least from where we're at right now, I think animation is continuing. I think video games are yeah. I've actually been really busy right now. So
right.
I feel, it's, and I say that lightly because I feel, I know not everybody is in the same situation. I think voiceover has saved me a few times in my life, and this is definitely one where I'm still managing to be able to put food on the table, and I'm single earner for my family, and so this has been really huge for me. I think we'll all make it through this.
Yeah.
It's sure. One way or another. But I think I'm hopeful. I mean, I think you gotta be, right?
I don't know what else. Look, things have been up and down in the business for me as well. And, I don't know what else I'm going to do. What else could I possibly do at this point in my life?
Yeah. There were some times when I first started out acting, I was always like, or my mom was always like, well, you can always go back to investment banking if it doesn't work out. But I'm like, no, Mom, it's been way too long now. Right. I can't go back to that.
Okay. Last question. I'll let you go and get on with your day. What advice do you have for people who want to get in the business? I can tell you my advice. I always say don't, but
I could hear that. I can hear so many people saying, just don't. Just don't.
And don't ask me. But
no, because you have to. I remember when I first started acting, and I called up one of my investment banking friends. I was like, wow, this business is all about rejection. Yeah. Like, is it crazy if I don't want to do this? And she responded, no, Sumalee, that's normal. And so I think you have to, I think one of the things I'm sure one of my teachers told me this, but the advice that I would give is you have to understand that auditioning is the work, and you have to find a way to enjoy the process and not the result. Because if you're waiting for that result, it can it can be a really, really, really rough haul.
What a great answer. You're right. You're absolutely right. The hardest part is doing the work seems to be the easy part because we all love to do it.
Oh yeah, once you get the job, well, there's different stresses with that, but like once you're right, it's the constant number of auditions you put out there
Right.
that you hear nothing back on, and it's like, oh, and sometimes I'll listen to my auditions like, oh my gosh, I think
That was so
that was awesome, that sounded so good, I love that character, and then like crickets.
And you only hear back if you got it, right?
It's so yeah, I think you have to really enjoy the process without the validation of the actual job.
Right. Right.
Good parting words. Anything to add before we call it?
This is just such a crazy time. To be totally honest,
Please.
I wasn't sure about doing this at a time now because I'm like now because I can I even talk about myself or what I'm doing when I know so many people are hurting, my family even, and it's just having lost an aunt and uncle, and it's just I hope this allowed people to take their minds off of their worries for a little while.
A little while, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's what I find has been the saving grace through this is having trying to make your world small and give your brain something positive to sit on or sit with for a little while.
Very cool. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Sumalee. This is great. I appreciate it.
Good luck, and we'll watch for you on TV, okay?
Thank you so much for inviting me to this. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for taking the time. It's so great to see you again. And next time I get out to LA, we'll have to get together. Not at Calendars anymore because it's not there.
I know. It's so sad.
It's really sad. There and have meetings,
drinks,
and cocktails,
happy hour Calendars because it was right across the street from our agency.
Yeah, and then I lived around the corner there on
I didn't realize that.
I lived on Massillon.
You lived on Massillon? That's our favorite trick or treat street. Did you know that?
All right. Well, next time I'm out there, I will make sure we get together. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Take care of the fam.
Well, you'll edit me to make sure I sound good.
Yes.
Hey, and don't forget, for all the latest news in the voice industry, head over to VoiceOver Extra. That's voiceoverxtra.com. As always, The Voice of Victor is brought to you by Orlex. Go to www.orlex.com for sound solutions for all your studio needs.